Good evening. You're listening to Radio Bharati News Podcast. I am Priyanka. Today is 23 September. Starting with the headlines, Union Home Minister Amit Shah to be on a two-day visit to Bihar beginning today. India calls the immediate cessation of hostilities in Ukraine and urged warring nations to return to dialogue and diplomacy. Pakistan flood-borne diseases could get out of control as deaths rise, reports UNICEF. RBI cancelled license of Maharashtra-based Lakshmi Cooperative Bank. Japan to lift COVID-19 restrictions on foreign tourists from October 11. India eager to give befitting farewell to retiring Jhulan Goswami at Lord's, says Harmanpreet Kaur. And in the world of cricket, second T20 international between India and Australia will be played in Nagpur this evening. Now, news in detail. Beginning today, Amit Shah, the Union Minister of Housing, will spend 2 days in Bihar. He will travel to Kishanganj and Purnia to take part in various events. Minister of External Affairs Dr. Jaishankar stated that the effects of a globalized society are felt even in far-off places. The minister stated that India reaffirms the urgent necessity of ending all hostilities and resuming diplomatic relations. This cannot be a time of conflict, he argued. Dr. Jaishankar emphasized the importance of the battle against impunity in the overall effort to establish peace and justice. According to him, the Security Council needs to make its position clear and unequivocal on this issue. He argued forcefully that politics should never be used as an excuse to avoid responsibility. In Pakistan's flood-stricken districts, at least 9 more people have passed away from waterborne illnesses, according to officials. According to the Disaster Management Organization, a prolonged and intense monsoon dumped around 3 times as much rain on Pakistan than on normal in recent weeks, which led to major flooding that claimed 1,500 lives, including 550 children and 318 women. Officials are saying that the situation is so bad that they now run the risk of losing control over the spread of illnesses. UNICEF called the situation beyond hopeless. The RBI claims that if Lakshmi Cooperative Bank were to continue operating, its current financial situation would prevent it from fully repaying its current depositors, which would be against the public interest. The RBI stated in a statement that the bank's continued operation would be detrimental to the interests of its depositors because the lender lacked sufficient capital and earning potential. Additionally, an order to halt operations and name a liquidator for the bank has been requested from the Commissioner for Cooperation and Registrar of Cooperative Societies in Maharashtra. After a 2.5-year closure, Japan has announced that it will ease harsh COVID restrictions on international visitors. The pandemic, according to PM Fumio Kishida, who was speaking at the New York Stock Exchange, has impeded the free flow of capital, products and people. From October 11, he claimed Japan will ease border controls and reinstate visa-free travel and individual travel. Japan announces border regulations that are nearly identical to pre-pandemic norms for the first time in around 2.5 years. Japan presently permits only package trips, mandates visas for all tourists, and places a daily arrival cap of 50,000 in an effort to stem the spread of COVID-19. Harmanpreet Kaur, captain of the India women's cricket team, wants to win the special final ODI against England at the storied Lord's on Saturday to bid veteran pacer Jhulan Goswami a proper farewell. At the conclusion of the current tour of England, Goswami will retire from cricket after an illustrious career spanning 2 decades. Harmanpreet believes a series sweep would be the ideal farewell present for the fast bowler. Today, the Vidyapeeth Cricket Association Stadium in Nagpur will host the second T20 international game between India and Australia. At 7 o'clock, the game will begin. With its victory on Tuesday, Australia now leads the 3-match series from 1-0. By winning the second T20 International in Nagpur, Australia would be eager to grab a commanding 2-0 lead. India, though, is looking forward to tying the series. Now, the weather forecast for today. The maximum temperature of Delhi today is 28 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature of Delhi is 23 degrees Celsius. That's all for today. You're listening to the Radio Bharati News Podcast.